Hello and welcome to JK, It's Not About You. I'm Jen Rouse.
And I'm Kelly Mirko, and we're your hosts. We're new empty nesters, and we're here to talk about what the next chapter looks like.
For so long, we were taxi drivers,
Domestic engineers, chefs,
tutors, cheerleaders,
and everything else that goes along with being a parent.
No days off, no paid vacation, and very limited time to pursue our own passions. It just wasn't about us.
It really wasn't. Join us on this new endeavor as we find passions in all things empty nesting. The little birdies have flown the coop and they're living their best lives, and now it's our turn. We're sweating through our 50s trying to figure it all out.
From resetting on marriage, navigating divorce, dating at 50, we're here to reclaim our calendars, our bodies, and our newly found identities in this confusing yet exciting new phase of life.
So grab your glass of wine or beverage of choice, your cozy sweats, and join us as we unpack all things real in our 50s.
Well, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. What episode are we on?
I don't even know anymore.
I know.
Like 9 or something?
I think
8
it
or
might be.
9?
Okay.
Welcome to JK, It's Not About You.
It is not about you.
It just isn't. As we keep learning.
Yes. So I just think we should maybe recap our crazy
week. It was crazy.
That was a little crazy, actually. Where should we begin?
Well,
I'll give this to you, actually.
I mean, California, devastation.
A lot of devastation in California.
My family's all there. We're both from Southern California and Los Angeles area, and just another, this is, an apocalypse. It's so sad, and I'm so sorry for everybody out there having to live through that, and I can't even imagine.
No.
I just can't even imagine. So
I'm sad to go there and see it.
So
it's hard
sad,
to find
and just the heartbreak, and I just won't even recognize our coastline.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It is terrible.
So we on a somber note just want to we're both thinking of everybody out there,
yes.
People we know, people we don't, and hope that our beautiful LA will come back better than ever. And
it will come back better than ever, but just sad. A lot of heartache and sadness, unfortunately.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it is.
So that was a big part of the week.
That was a big...
And then we rounded it off with Sarah getting into a very serious car accident.
But she is okay.
She walked away, which is a miracle.
A miracle.
How she walked away from that.
Her car rolled.
Very scary. Luckily, she was not alone, and she got help out of the vehicle.
Yes.
And but it just it was like a shakeup for me again. How quickly things can change on a dime.
Very quickly.
How between the fire, exploding in the night, and then how everything devastation and things can happen, and life is so precious.
You just never know. Enjoy.
I think that's it. That's the takeaway. So many things are out of our control and out of our wheelhouse of you
fixing or being able to
when we try to as moms, right?
Yeah.
And thank God I had you to go to Colorado with, because I had to get up. We both got up on Sunday, went to Colorado. I think that did me actually a world of good, not to be sitting here spinning, because Sarah's in California. Waiting to get back into school.
And you would have been sitting here alone.
Spinning.
No, it was great.
So it got my mind, occupied on something else. And so that was pretty good to do that.
Yeah, that was.
And we started the Mel Robbins book.
We did. I actually have been listening a little bit today.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
I need to get my own version so I can finish.
Yeah.
But I think it's cute. It's funny. It's got comedy
to it. The let them
theory.
Yes.
Yeah, the let them theory. And it's going to be really hard for me to do. I'll be honest.
It's eye-opening though, and I think she just makes a lot of really, really good valid points on control, and you are not in control of anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
You can't control someone else's behavior. You can just control how you react. And I think I like it, you know.
I did too, and I liked the part of like not worrying about what people think.
Yes.
You know? I mean, this exercise, doing this podcast, was a big leap to do that.
It still
and put
is,
ourselves out there and, you know.
Yes.
And it's just, that's a...
Someone is always going to have something to say.
Yeah.
No matter what direction you go.
So true.
So...
And an opinion.
And an opinion. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So you might as well just be who you are, and the people that love you,
And she made another point where she said, you know, people love you, judge you anyway. We do.
That's what I mean.
And they can have their opinion, like our dog, you know, like she said, you know, my dog's a pain in the ass, jumps on me, like, you know, whatever. But I still love her.
Yeah.
But I have like negative thoughts about it.
Absolutely.
And I really enjoy it. Anyway, I'm only 4 or 5 chapters in. But,
yeah.
You know, it's good.
We're getting there.
So we'll definitely wrap up more about that, because I think that is a really good alignment with what we're doing with this 75 heart.
Yes.
So yeah.
We can roll right into that.
So I think people wanted to know, Kelly, you'll be better versed at this. Like, what is 75 hard?
Well, 75 hard, to how I understand it, is you're reading some sort of mindset, self-help, some sort of book about 10 minutes a day. It's either 10 minutes or 10 pages. I've been doing 10 minutes a day minimum. You have 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of those workouts has to be outside. I guess both of them could be as well, but one of them has to be, which could be challenging here in the wintertime. And you have to drink a gallon of water a day, which I know is really hard for you.
It really is.
You have to take a progress photo, which is just always so fun, snapping a photo of yourself in the mirror. I
haven't been doing that. I didn't know about that part.
Oh yeah, that's part of
Every
it.
day?
Every day.
Okay. That's a good journal thing.
Yeah. And I think that's... Oh, and stick to some sort of diet, your choice. Some sort of healthy eating and no alcohol. How can I forget that?
How can you forget the best part?
This is
the hardest part.
I know. It actually hasn't been that hard. Which is...
No, except for our travels.
Yeah.
But we had fun with that too.
We did.
Some creative mocktails.
Yeah.
Some tea.
Yes, lots of tea. I'm getting
Tea's
very,
good.
very versed in tea.
Tea is good.
So yeah, I think it's been great. You know, it is hard. For me, the hardest part is doing the 45-minute workout outside, unless I get it done before noon, because you know I'm busy and I'm working and I have other things going on, and it's hard for me to like break away and take that 45 minutes. So I've been trying to get that done earlier in the day, but the rest of it's been so far pretty good.
Yeah, you're good with the water.
I'm good with the water. I'm good with the reading, the eating, you know, the inside workout, no problem. But I did get my walks in today, and I did get outside.
I know, it's nice when you do it.
But it's
commitment.
It's a commitment. We had to do it when we just traveled. We were in the gym at the hotel.
Yeah.
We climbed a mountain. You know, we had we got it done.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It's really good.
I suggest doing it in September, October.
Yeah, I think that would be a better time of year. Simply for our purposes, the weather and the cold and
just it's very busy for me in the wintertime.
Yeah, this is a hard time. You have Sundance coming up.
Yeah, I do.
So you can tell everybody what Sundance is.
Yeah.
That doesn't know.
Yeah,
we all know in Park City here.
Yeah, it's a film festival. It's one of many around the world, but it comes the third week in January every year to Park City. So it's a lot of filmmakers that are well known, as well as people that are trying to get their films and documentaries off the ground and are showing them for the first time, hoping they get picked up by someone.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people from LA and New York coming here and seeing movies, and a lot of people rent out restaurants. Firewood's rented out a bunch.
That's
people
great.
come in and, you know, do activations and do panels and parties and dinners, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good energy around town. It's about 10 days. The best people watching of the year. And if you're a skier, you should come during Sundance because the mountain is empty.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like just driving
local
around.
time.
It's just
well, Main Street's closed.
Yeah.
So,
but there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's.
But it's a great energy. It's so good for our town. It's such a good, everybody has such a good revenue stream for 10 days that you can count on, and like.
Yeah, it's been a good thing for Park City for a few decades now. I don't even know how long.
I don't either. That's
Over
exciting.
So, yeah.
Well, you'll be busy.
I will be busy.
So we'll get updates from Kelly about Sundance. We'll have to hear how.
I
want to hear all your good sightings. And then we are just getting back from Vail with Nate's snowboarding. So a lot of people I think kids or younger or parents with kids that are athletic and do different trajectories towards their goals of whatever that may be. I mean, it ebbs and flows for me, but he is now part of it's called a Revolution Tour. It's kind of the next step away from the little kids amateur. He's kind of reaching towards World Cup.
Yeah.
So that's what Nate's doing.
So excited.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
So cool to watch him and everyone, but just love watching Nate.
Yeah,
what was that trick? That big trick that he landed?
He has to learn spins all 4 ways, and so I don't know a lot about the snowboarding tricks, but it was a front 12, which he had practiced a lot on this airbag, so he practices on a big airbag all spring, summer, and fall, and it's like a big slip and slide. They have sprinklers that the water goes on, and he can practice his aerodynamics and his landings and his so it's how to learn the access of the spins, and he's pretty tall, so I think having him accomplish these as they're growing too, everything's changing, so he had to relearn some basic skills, I think, this summer and get his footing back. And he had a big head injury last year, so we missed the entire competition season. So it was nice to see him back.
It was so nice to see him in competition.
Yeah,
he just shines.
He loves it.
He just loves it.
Yeah,
he does so well.
He loves it, and
he has the best attitude.
So kids in sports, it's it's such a delicate balance of really remaining on your own mat, right? You cannot, it's not our dream.
No.
But yet we're very invested financially, we're very invested emotionally, so you get there and you just hope, and you have whatever, you don't want the disappointment.
You get anxious.
You do. You're I was so nervous, and it was
because it's exciting, but you want them to do so well.
It's all of those feelings.
It's all of it. No.
It's all of those feelings, and you're getting a return because Elias is kind of wanting that climbing dream to keep going.
Yeah, he does. He's been doing it for a long time. Elias is a rock climber. He climbs rocks inside and out.
Dangerous too.
Another dangerous sport.
Although the inside comps are so nice.
They are. They're warm.
As we froze in Vail.
Yeah, we did freeze. But yeah, he would like to give it one more. I think he's going to climb for the rest of his life, but I think he would like to give it one more solid year of giving it everything. Really, really just living in the gym. So
I think that's great, to be so good at something and see that dream even in your, can you imagine? I never had that.
No, I didn't have it either.
I was never great at, I was an okay swimmer, whatever, but never had that fire that our boys have.
No, I kept the bench really warm for many sports.
Me too. But you see them and especially...
No, they just excel, and they're passionate about it, and they're willing to give up everything to be there and be focused and train, and they're committed in an exceptionally amazing way, because they're just so passionate about what they do that it makes you want to support it, because they you believe in them and they believe in themselves. You want to support that. So
and Elias, especially with his nutrition and his schedule, and he's a full-time student, and his grades and, you know, like that whole thing, you know, he puts his social life like on the side. Like he is completely driven and completely like hyper focused.
Yes.
You know, that is an exceptional quality that'll take him very far.
It will take him far. He is extremely focused down to color coding the calendar, but I just also would like him to take a breath every now and then.
We never stop worrying. We don't.
But
when we were talking about that on the drive, let them. The kids just like take turns torturing me with stress, you know, and like
they don't
Sarah with they don't, of course not, and it's life, and you know, you think when you have little kids that once we get to where we are, that the worry or the stress or the anxiety or the you know goes away, but it almost gets like hyper, like intense, you know, like we're just.
Because when they're younger, when they're under a certain age, like you have more control. Like they're depending on you to get from A to B, you know, like you're the ride.
And we have rules.
Like so, but when they're older, you're letting them, you know, like they're off, they're driving, they're making their own decisions. They're, you know, so you
hope for the best.
You hope for the best.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
But we're lucky. Because our kids,
you know, I mean, our kids are great, and
what's going on?
Yeah, and they communicate, which is huge.
Huge.
I mean, Melissa had a cold, wasn't feeling well on our drive back, you know, and I think you handled it so great. You're like, if I were you're coming home next week, you have your birthday, I would go urgent care and get make sure you don't have a flu, because the Tamiflu window is very small. And she thought about it, she fought it a little, and then she went.
She did. She did. And she's feeling better today.
Of course.
Because she got a day ahead of it.
Of course.
So, anyway.
And then she'll be great for her birthday. Yeah, her birthday's in a few days, so that's great.
2 days.
And Melissa was a competitive Nordic skier. So what was that? Maybe we could talk to people that are like, okay, our kids are eventually going to wrap up this thing of sports, and you know how she did that, how you put the dream down and you go to new dreams, you know?
Yes. Well, we're very lucky here in Park City. We have a great after-school program in the winter called Get Out and Play, put on by the Youth Sports Alliance, and it allows the kids on a Friday have like a half day, and they go around and schlep all these kids, and you can, you know, snowboard or ski, or I think ice skate. But Nordic skiing was one of the choices. So Nordic skiing is you skate ski, which is you're like skating.
It's a hard workout.
Or you're in the tracks and you're doing
cross country.
Classic.
Missy did both?
Yes.
Okay.
Missy did both. She, I think, enjoyed skate better, but was better at classic.
How funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since she was already an alpine skier, because she was born and raised here, she did Nordic. And so from 5th grade until she graduated high school, she was on the Nordic team between Park City and Sun Valley when we lived there. And literally every single day, 6 days a week, she would train for 3 hours after school.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Nordic was that they traveled as a team.
Yeah.
So they had like a van, and they would, throw all the kids in there and go to West Yellowstone or wherever, or Sun Valley.
Great environment.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So she really, it really kept her focused. It kept her out of trouble. She had great coaches, great mentors, made just lifelong friends. And that was a great thing for her to have during growing up, during high school, during junior high. Kept her like, I think sports is a very important outlet for kids. Very important.
Yeah.
My thing is that I wanted to find a life sport for both of my kids. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I wanted to do that. So we did everything.
Until they chose.
And finally, Elias in 2nd grade fell into rock climbing and Loved it. Still does.
Good at it.
And Melissa with Nordic. So I got Nate with snowboarding and skateboarding. Just they loved it, and so I didn't have to go any further. We're
Yeah.
not a ball family at all.
Yeah, we aren't really.
0 balls.
We are.
Really bad. Yeah, so both of those were great. She graduated, and you know what? She wanted nothing to do with the snow. She was more concerned about UVs and wanted to get sun, so she ended up in Arizona. But, I think the transition for her, I think that she was ready. She was ready to be done with a winter sport. She did track. And
she
now
had
she's
long legs,
and she's now
run.
trying to figure out some other things, but
she's ready to be
she was ready to be done.
Okay.
She
that's
was.
kind of a nice thing. Like you I feel like in this sport I see a lot of parents pushing, and
a lot.
It has to, at least I would think it has to come within,
100%.
And so I'm kind of hoping that that's going to become naturally for both me and Elias. They're not going to do this forever, but
right.
Or they will maybe, for fun, but
sure,
and recreationally. But when that dream, okay, it's time for a new one.
Yeah, exactly. And Elias was just talking about that. He's like, you know what? He was.
That's amazing.
I forgot to even mention
funny.
this part of it that he, of course.
Yeah.
Elias, he's, was just saying, he goes, and then Mom, he goes, then there's other things. I'm like, what? He goes, I don't know. He goes, but there's something else that I'm sure I want to do. And he is just so passionate about so many things.
100%.
So
he's all in.
And he's all in. So I don't know what that will be for him, but he is ready for that, even if it's in a year or two. Hopefully it's something on the ground, like pottery would be great.
I know.
This dirt biking.
Everything, these adrenaline rushes,
Yeah, something without an engine.
I begged for golf or swimming.
You know what? I tried golf. He was just distracted.
Yeah, Nate likes it, but just for, could take it or leave it.
We could leave it.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
It's a ball. We're not a ball
wired
family.
Differently. They just are.
Yes.
They're so wired
So
differently. It's crazy.
But they're all great, and I think that they're all going to do great things. So
yeah, so I think it's interesting now that we're empty nesters. We're still going to these things. We're still, I went to one of Elias's comps this year. You came to Nate's last week, and
we're going next month.
Yeah, we're going again. We're gonna hit Aspen. So and Aspen's a great town.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I love Aspen.
We'll have some real fun there.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the next stop. But you keep going, you cheer, you try to manage that anxiety and that
No, but they're more comfortable with us even having it. They know how we are feeling and how we react, and I think we're better at knowing how, if Elias has a shitty climb, I know how to relate to him versus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly what their body language is and everything.
Yes, and what to say and what not to say. Oh, especially with Elias.
Yeah.
There's
and he needs a minute.
He needs a
You're like that. You need a minute. Yeah, I'm trying to do that because I think it's really helpful. That when somebody needs to walk away and take some breaths and regroup, that's okay, right?
100%. I need it.
Yeah, it's good
because I have to.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah.
And, okay. And I think Elias is like that a lot, like you. He's a lot like you. So
it's cutie.
He's so cute. Can't wait to see him. We're having family dinner tonight.
I know. I can't.
So that'll be really fun.
I know. Taco night.
Yeah, taco night.
I love that.
So what else do you think, for January wellness, what other things do you think we're going to try? You going to cold plunge, Kelly?
I will cold plunge once this month.
Okay.
It might be on the 31st at 11, but I will make it happen. I promise.
Because I'm coming to hot yoga.
And you already have come.
Yeah.
So.
It's so hot in there.
I know. I love it.
So hot. I just look at the clock. Go, oh my gosh. Yes.
So yes, I'm going to cold plunge.
I'd like to try this infrared light. We had some people write in and ask us how we're feeling with the 75 hard. Well, we explain what it is. So we'll be doing this for the next month and a half, right?
Do you have to go to a place or how do we get that
I think
light?
we have to, I can ask McCall to send us one too. Like you're just supposed to lay under it or work out under it, or maybe you could stretch or meditate. I don't know.
What's it doing for us?
It's supposed to like regenerate your whole body. It's supposed to like really be beneficial.
Don't they have like a tanning bed of them or something? You could just lay in there?
Well, they probably do.
That's what we should do.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Let's just get it done.
Let's tan and infrared light right now.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we literally hiked a mountain, which, okay, you guys, we went where we weren't supposed to go.
Yeah, we got like stopped many times.
By ski patrol.
Multiple.
We hiked up because we were so worried about getting our outdoor big workout in.
Which we got 5 of them in, yeah.
Too bad we can't roll over.
I know, there's no rolling over.
That's something I learned. You can't roll over days.
I just even feel I needed to say that.
You do need to say it because some people are hopeful like me.
No. Every day, you got to get it done.
So anyway, you know.
No, we hiked up the mountain.
Yeah.
Thank gosh
you had those things to put on our shoes.
We had those, which was great. And then we we marched because we were so cold. It was like 5 degrees.
Yeah, we had to march back and forth because the bottom of our feet, my toes were numb.
Numb. Because there's a couple heats. You have to wait for all the kids to go through both heats twice.
Yeah.
And then you slide on down.
Dude, it's just insane.
I was so done after that. I was done.
It was a lot, and you were such a good sport. And I said to you at one point, God, you really must be my best friend. You're up here. and the course, we really should have skied. The only
we will never do that again.
Okay, we will next time ski because skiing's a lot easier.
A lot
more fun.
Yeah.
But we were so worried about getting in our workout and, you know, being on top of this regimen that we were like, we should just ski. How far could it be? It was pretty far.
And it was just straight uphill. And we have like I had Nate's like
puffy coat.
Big coat on. I have like 15 layers. So like I'm sweating and then I get up there, I'm freezing.
Yep.
So
sweating then freezing.
We could have skied for like a few hours. And next year we're skiing, getting it all done. And we're not doing 75 hard in the winter.
Yes.
But
not over your birthday.
No. Not happening.
That's not. It's
Lesson
not.
learned.
There's definitely a better time of year, and we've figured that out. So that's fine.
No, it's great.
Yeah. But I'm glad I'm doing it with you.
Yes.
And I think it's like, ask how we're feeling. I mean, I've noticed, even with some of the things that have been kind of happening, you know, there's nights you don't sleep, but I feel like I'm sleeping better. I'm waking up a lot easier. Clearer.
Oh, absolutely. Not so fuzzy.
No, not so fuzzy. So it's good.
I feel great.
Yeah.
I mean, I am drinking so much water. Seriously.
You really are.
Okay.
I mean, I have been when I'm home, when I know, like, I do a lot of my water drinking, like, from 4 o'clock to 10, 11 at night. Because I'd rather get up in the night than be in a car or be trapped somewhere where there's no bathroom.
I have it done, like, before 5 o'clock.
I know. You're done by 11 a.m.
I like wake up at 6. I have water bottle done by 7. Okay, I have to have. I say 6, but
it's probably good to drink it right away.
It is. So I try to do that.
Okay.
Coffee, obviously. Yeah. I drink at least 1 water bottle in yoga. I fill that up. I have one on the way home. I mean, like and then I fill that gallon thing up.
Yeah.
So then I just fill my water bottles with it, and once the gallon's gone, ding.
You've got a lot of it done. You've got it done.
I've got it done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
anyway. We're doing that. The diet thing, I feel like I'm doing the intermittent fasting. That's sort of rigid enough for me.
I feel like I eat pretty healthy.
And we're pretty good anyway, so it wasn't really for us about, like, clean eating.
No.
I mean, but am I cheating on desserts? Yes.
No, you're not.
Because a little bit. I'm having it on the weekends or, you know, whatever. No, I have my ice cream cones. They're yummy.
You love those ice cream cones.
Ice cream cones are my new jam because it's measured.
What?
If I eat ice cream, like, out of a container, I will eat the whole thing.
You mean you make 1 scoop and put it on the cone?
I make it in there. I eat it in the cone. It's done. That's it. It's good.
I'm so glad you're so disciplined.
With my ice cream cone once a day. Can't have wine.
You and Maya.
Having ice cream. Yeah, me and Maya. My house. She likes her little dog ice cream. Frosty Paws. Big shout out. Ben and Jerry's makes it too.
Do they?
Yes.
Don't tell my husband.
And now I know dog bone broth.
Oh my God. So Melissa's sick right now, like we were talking about earlier. And so we were, I think, still at the hotel.
Yes, you were Instacarting.
And I'm like, oh, I should Instacart her. I love Instacart. I sent her medicine.
Shout out to Instacart.
Yeah, shout out to
Instacart will save me during Sundance.
Oh, yeah. No, it saves me all the time.
Yes.
So I'm like, don't leave the house. I will just send you everything. So I send her all this stuff. And I send her bone broth because I'm like, you could just heat like a mug of it and drink it. So good. So we talked to her, Jen and I, on the drive home, and yada yada. I had to get the groceries. I go, did you have any bone broth? And she goes, well, Mom, she goes, I wasn't going to tell you. She goes, but you bought bone broth for dogs. And I go, are you kidding me? And she goes, no. She goes, you bought bone broth for dogs. I
didn't even know they made that. I'm so bummed I didn't know that they didn't make it.
I am so blind.
I have the pickiest eater for my dog. She'll probably love that.
Maybe. She likes lamb shanks, your dog.
Well, from Firewood, but I don't have access to those every day. So now we're on a chicken diet.
Chicken.
She was just with the dog sitter, though. Ate the kibble.
It's you.
It'll be interesting tonight.
It's like
what happens.
It's like Tilly with John. It's the same thing.
She figures this is the best I'm going to get. So
well, she knows she can work you.
Yeah, totally. This is what happens in my life.
So anyway, I don't know where the bone broth was going, but yes,
it's
Instacart.
Just Instacart and just, I don't know. We're off a tangent. We were starting with the 75 hard and somehow ended on bone broth. But anyway, it's eating healthy. And we're still,
Yeah.
So that's 75 hard for us.
That is 75 hard. And we would love to hear any questions or anyone else that's doing 75 hard.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, or any tips someone might have for me to make it any easier. It'd be amazing.
Or ideas of workouts or,
outside
anything.
workouts.
Yeah, outside. I guess any tips that we have that we love, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So please like, subscribe, and share.
We will, I think, what should we talk about next week? I think that we will recap on maybe a little Sunday. Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah?
Maybe not next week, but the week after, definitely, because you're just going to be starting next week when we film. So
that's true.
Yeah. You may not get the Sundance, but you guys will hear the scoop.
Yes, you will.
And maybe if we're lucky, Kelly will take some video of the street, because I don't know that I'm going to mosey over there anytime soon.
Good people watching.
You never know.
Take the bus in.
Yeah, it could be a whole experience. Maybe I'll get to a movie.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us once again.
And JK, it's just not about you.
Ever.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of JK, It's Not About You.
You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at JK, It's Not About You, and we will address your questions on the next week's episode.
If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family.
Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us.
Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.